Baltimore, Maryland, November 1982. Sugar Ray Leonard, the world welterweight boxing champion, summons the fight world to hear him make the most important announcement of his life.
This is a very, very special night for me. And I thank you all for your presence. Thank you, and God bless you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you'll be hearing from Ray very shortly with the announcement. The middleweight champion of the world, marvelous Marvin Hagler.
I like the way he introduced me there. It took me so long to get that. Marvelous. So, thank you. Hearns and Leonard was the showdown, but we got to be the fight of the century. All right.
Insiders predict Leonard will announce his retirement, that he will turn his back on fame and fortune to save the eye he injured during a sparring session in the spring. He hasn't fought since. Another fight could blind him for life. Yet some are convinced greed will destroy common sense, and that Leonard will take on middleweight champion Marvin Hagler for the biggest purse in boxing history. Boxing needs Sugar Ray Leonard, a glossy celebrity, articulate, intelligent, charming.
You know, they just talking about 20 million just to sign my name. Yeah, man. Oh, yeah.
A hero to white society as well as black. The perfect ambassador amid the mugs who rise and fall in the sweet science.
Let me tell you, it's been dynamite being with Ray, and whatever he does, I've got a friend in life, and I'll say amen. Way to go, Angie Dundee. The former heavyweight champion of the world, Muhammad Ali.
Once Muhammad Ali carried the torch, the most glorious of gladiators. Now he reflects only sorrow and tragedy, an ex-pug who refused to hear the final bell until it was too late.
I want to say I met Sugar Ray Leonard shortly after he won the Olympic gold medal, right? I mentioned Angelo Dundee because Angelo took me and helped me to become champion. Not because he's such a great trainer, not because he knows about boxing or he's handsome. He just had the connection and the complexion to get the protection.
The message is not lost on Sugar Ray Leonard, or is it? The saga of Sugar Ray Leonard began with the 1976 Olympics in Montreal, when, with a photo of his childhood sweetheart Juanita tucked in his shoe, he decisioned the Cuban, Andres Aldama. He thought his gold medal would translate into untold wealth outside the ring. It didn't. His family, burdened by illness and a lack of money, Ray Leonard reluctantly turned pro. He fought 33 times and lost only once to the brawling Panamanian Roberto Duran. 23 of Leonard's opponents finished on their backs. Leonard raised boxing to an art form not seen since the zenith of Ali. Leonard was grace and guile and guts. The title greatest ever was within his grasp. When training for a bout in the spring of 1982, he suffered a detached retina of the left eye. The operation was a success, but was the injury an omen? A warning from a higher force? Ray Leonard wondered. To reach the toughest decision he'd ever faced, he felt it necessary to get away. He chose England, the birthplace of his profession. This is the story of that pilgrimage and that decision. The Queen Elizabeth II. It is to the Cunard Line what Sugar Ray Leonard is to boxing, the classiest. It is here in New York on a sullen September morning the Odyssey begins. Leonard is accompanied by his son, Little Ray, and the champion's personal bodyguard, James Anderson.
Can you see it?
In England, Leonard will tap the roots of his calling, and he hopes unravel the mystery of its lure.
Look at that ship.
Only then, he feels, can he understand his past and find the answer to his future.
Steve?
4 decks below the waterline, Steve Sinclair begins his shift in the stores department. He's 25, an ex-amateur heavyweight from Blackpool, England. He had 25 amateur fights and won 22. In his first and only pro fight, he was knocked out. He went to sea, believing the closest he'd ever get to his idol, Sugar Ray Leonard, was a magazine cover.
Okay, Wally.
Thank you very much.
See you later, mate.
On the bridge of the QE2, Ray Leonard is given the royal treatment by the ship's captain.
How fast are we going now?
We're going about 28 and a half knots. That's about maybe 32 miles an hour, something about that.
I feel it, yeah.
Yeah.
It says dead slow. What is it?
Dead slow. That's the slowest.
Aside from the occasional road work, dead slow has been Leonard's pace since the operation. But word has reached him of the former fighter on board, and anxious to test his apprehension over the eye, the champion arranges, through the captain, an exhibition bout. Steve Sinclair jumped at the chance. To touch gloves with the greatest fighter, pound for pound, in the world would be a divine benediction. Sinclair would become an instant legend, a folk hero whose tale would be told forever in the pubs and factories and dockyards of Blackpool. He was immediately dubbed Rocky of the Lower Decks.
Just give me $20.
Mommy, dog.
While the challenger hones his physical skills, the champion hones other skills, even more important now in the world of Sugar Ray Leonard.
Daddy, double. 1, 2, 3, 4.
He is his own monopoly, thanks to a shrewd lawyer back home named Mike Trainer, untarnished by avarice and the odor of boxing's underside, who ensured that Leonard's millions would belong only to the fighter.
$200, you get $20 back. I hope the kids don't treat your real money like this. Spend your real money.
Here. Look.
No one promoter owned a piece of him. No one TV network owned the rights to his bouts. Leonard named his price and got it,
I need something good.
and played with real money.
Doctor's fee, pay
At last count, his fortune was 30 million and growing.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to bring Sugar Ray up if I could right now. Could I bring you up here, Sugar Ray? I'm not gonna say, can I pull your arm, because you might break mine, but...
Ray Leonard was named after Ray Charles, the blind singer his mother admired. She wanted Ray to be a singer, too. Now she fears the only thing her son may have in common with Ray Charles is blindness if he keeps fighting.
George, try it one time. Okay, let's hear it, folks, one time. We got another song for you.
London. The quest for an answer begins. But if the champion expected anonymity, he was mistaken. Word of Leonard's visit had preceded him, and the high and the mighty beckoned.
Leading citizen. In fact, Hollywood Boulevard, you know, they think the space shuttle is the regular bus along there. Walk down Hollywood Boulevard and a guy puts his hand in your pocket, you better hope he's after your money. We have so many marvelous people here tonight. Just marvelous when I look out and see all these people up there. One of the most exciting sports figures in the past 10 years in our country, maybe 20 years. But, ladies and gentlemen, Sugar Ray Leonard.
Well, here we go.
As legends go, Bob Hope has few peers. Access to his inner circle is a rare honor, not one bestowed upon lesser mortals. In Sugar Ray Leonard, the comedian recognizes all the right stuff, and of course a chance to do what Hope does best.
I wish I could.
You can, I'm sure you can.
The way I'm putting, I
don't believe that.
I'm drinking.
We've been watching you.
You get there when you do a good game?
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Don't you love the weather over here?
Oh, yeah.
4 different seasons in 1 hour.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Waiting for it to snow.
They say, in fact, one of the guys said he wouldn't be surprised if it snowed tomorrow morning.
Oh, boy.
Westminster Abbey. Leonard once read that it's the burial place of John Broughton, a heavyweight whose reign had eerie overtones of his own. Broughton was one of England's greatest champions, who, after killing a man in the ring, drew up boxing's first sophisticated set of rules in 1743. Like Leonard, Broughton was a stylist whose dancing feet and innovative combinations revolutionized the sport. His last fight was with one James Slack. Broughton was expected to win, but he didn't. He was blinded in both eyes. Among kings, poets, and prime ministers, John Broughton is the only boxer entombed in this sacred place, alongside his bodyguard. Such immortality impresses Sugar Ray Leonard, but he's not sure he'd like to share a grave with James Anderson.
How you doing, all right? Fine. Nice to see you.
James Anderson.
St. Ives, a town fabled in nursery rhyme, and fabled now for a different reason.
Very good. Take it's cold. Very cold. Come on in. All right, buddy. Best thing we've ever all day.
It's the home of Dave Boy Green, whom Leonard fought in March of 1980 when the Englishman was ranked number 8 in the world. They later became friends, and Green's prized possession is a videotape of the fight.
And now round 4, Leonard and White, the champion. Given advice by Angelo Dundee this time, move in, get him standing still and nail him. Well, let's see if he can do that against the challenger.
The first 3 rounds were close, a surprise to many.
The 4th round was the round that I was told to become more aggressive. And I felt you were so onto it anyway, we were in so low, you know. Yeah, because I saw everything.
Good combinations. Believe me, that'll keep you off balance. Good left to the chin.
Yep, jab. You kept your hands here. Can't bring them out wider.
Oh, a right hand. Most fighters would have gone down. Flush on the chin of the challenger.
This is it. You see you come up.
So long, Timber. What a series of punches. He is down the count, and it is over. Davey Boy Green is out.
Just wait a minute, Ray. I think I'm going to get over.
3 seconds of round 4. Now we have some concern.
Angelo Dundee, Leonard's trainer, was sure his fighter had killed Green, that only an extra layer of padded canvas has saved Green's life.
Along with the Dr. Reed Pirates of the Maryland Athletic Commission. Now we look at it. Here a comment.
Well, here I'm beginning to get more flat-footed. Like I said in the interview, when I found his weakness, was the fact I could hit with uppercuts, and here the right uppercut and left hook did the number on him. It was a clean left hook.
Clean, it couldn't be more perfectly timed. I know Ali and Sugar Ray Robinson, 2 of your heroes, very proud of that combination.
Green prepared for the most memorable event of his life here, a small, dusty gym owned by his former manager, Andy Smith. Leonard asked to see it, and Green was glad to oblige.
A lot of good fighters destroy themselves outside the ring, far more than inside the ring. That's why I try to stress to so many young kids and young fighters, keep yourself clean if you want to be something. It takes a Dave Boy Green and a Sugar Ray Leonard to make something like this materialize. Really. Entertainment, so people understand and accept it more, especially the women. And to see people like that. Women like it. And once the women become involved, you got them all. Because the women, they wear the pants in the house anyway. We don't wear pants. They wear the pants.
Since their fight, he's been haunted by a question. What glimmer of weakness had Ray Leonard seen?
I can't remember. Tell me.
Under ring conditions, Green would now find out.
I was very difficult to get through some clean shots other than left jabs. So I kept moving on you up until I found out that I watched your feet. And I knew that if I was stepped aside, it would take you like two or three steps, whereas it would take me 2. So I said, well, hey, I'll go inside here, and I lay here. My defense is pretty good, too. So I lay here, and I knew I always want to throw a body shot. You was attempt to throw a body shot. I throw a right uppercut, raise your chin, and you turn, exactly, turn this way. I hope I get up this time. Okay.